Hi, I'm Rob Johnstone, Woodworker's Journal magazine. I just got done building this passage door made of solid cherry lumber and veneer covered cherry plywood. Now, passage doors are inexpensive in their pre-hung form at any home center that you would like to shop at, but I think you can see the difference in quality of one that you can make yourself and the kind that you can buy at the store. But building a passage door can be a little bit tricky if you're doing it in the traditional method. We've come up with a way to do it that I think you'll find interesting, easy, and fun to do. This door is simply a solid wood frame built around 3/4 inch thick plywood panels. In essence, it is traditional frame and panel construction that makes use of a combination of stiles and rails. What makes this door easy to build is that we use loose tenon joinery to combine those stiles and rails. And of course, the Festool Domino XL makes loose tenon joinery a snap. In order for this sort of door construction to work well, the ends of the stiles, and especially the rails, have to be dead square. To achieve that, square up the first end of your rail on a chop saw, then measure and mark the piece to its proper length and cut it to size. Getting the length of the rails identical is nearly as important as getting the ends square. As you can see in the drawings of the passage door, there are grooves plowed into some of the edges of the stiles and rails to accept the plywood panels. The long stiles have stopped grooves machined into their edges. I marked the starting and stopping points on the top of the router table to show me where to drop the edge down onto the bit and where to stop that cut and turn off the router. As you can see, the bottom rail is much wider than the top rail, so the stopped groove must reflect that difference. That's why the marks on top of the router table are a different distance from the center of the bit. By the way, one nice thing about the aluminum top of this router table is that you can wipe the Sharpie marks off very easily using a bit of paint thinner. The last thing you want to happen on a passage door is for one of the joints to fail. For that reason, I use these really robust dominoes as my loose tenons. They are thick and long, perfect for this job. With all the grooves cut on the stiles and rails, now is the time to cut the mortises for the domino loose tenons. Locate the mortises from center lines marked on the stiles and rails. It is sound practice to clamp your workpiece securely for this operation, and then go ahead and let the machine do its work. With that done, take a few minutes to rip your plywood to width. All the plywood panels in this door are exactly the same width. Then cut them to length using a chop saw. Next up, dry fit and glue up. Ordinarily, I assemble every part of a project during my dry fit test run, but in this case, the loose tenons fit so tightly that I feared that I would not be able to take the door pieces apart again. So here, I simply clamped the stiles and rails together with the plywood panels in place, and trusted I had made the mortises correctly. Luckily, that worked out. When the door had been glued and then knocked together with a rubber mallet, I used just 3 clamps to close the joints tightly. When the glue had cured properly, I removed the small amount of squeeze out with a sharp chisel, and then got to work sanding the door. I sanded all the way up through 180 grit paper. Then I applied a coat of Watco oil. On cherry, an application of linseed or Watco oil really pops the grain and enhances the depth of the finish. When the oil had fully cured, I applied 2 coats of polyurethane for added durability. There is an important point to make here. Anytime you apply a drying oil with a rag, to avoid a possible fire, be sure to open it up and let it dry in a single layer. In fact, I like to take it outside and lay it on a concrete slab until it is dry. So that's how I built it. Surprisingly easy, isn't it? And if you'd like to build one of these doors for yourself, make sure to take advantage of our step-by-step instructions and the drawings we've provided. And thanks for watching.